The roundtable continues with Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter is in snowy Chicago. Jeff, good afternoon.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Jeff.
I actually should say hi to her first.
Yeah, you should. Come on. Decorum.
Thank you, dear.
Yes, decorum. I liked your comment in the earlier segment there about shoveling sand.
Yes.
That made me laugh out loud. LOL.
Oh, Jeff is LOLing.
Yeah, I'm LOLing. As
Thank
I
you.
sit here on Lakeshore Drive, there's 900 cars parked on the drive in front of my house.
Is that right?
Wow.
Are there people inside them?
No, they're gone now, but they're still parked there.
Are they really?
Yeah.
They've closed Lakeshore Drive, and the people got out and left.
They just left. They picked them up in buses about 3 a.m. last night. A lot of them spent the night in the lobby of our building, believe it or not.
Oh.
And I live in an apartment on Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah.
And so we were looking at this, and it was a parking lot from about 5 o'clock till, well, it still is a parking lot. And so my daughter and I went out there to see if there was any babies or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
everybody was in pretty good shape, but,
it sounds like you have a tougher time. We didn't get hit quite as bad. We got hit pretty hard, but we didn't have anything like that. People getting stranded. I think everybody had a decent warning and went home early yesterday. So that said, Lakeshore Drive is still a better place to be than Cairo, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Now, when you were on our show, Jeff is the author of pointsandfigures.com, a tremendous blog on politics and finance, and Jeff's an expert in the economy and joins us every Saturday morning on our roundtable talking about finances and the world of economics. And a couple of weeks ago, he talked about how the weather was going to be impacting food prices, and food prices were going to be impacting the political scene. And little did I know, Jeff, that you were going to be right so quickly.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. I wish I could have taken advantage of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing because now these protests are starting to spread into Yemen. They're
Right.
spreading into Pakistan. And really the catalyst, as we talked about on your Saturday morning show, was high food prices. So sugar and cotton and wheat went to all-time highs, and people in Egypt spent 40% of their income on food, and it just was crippling for them. And then you combine that with the whole political climate anyway of, political oppression or whatever, and it's a tinderbox that allows the big fire to explode. And it really, in 4 days, ended Mubarak's presidency.
Well, he hasn't quite ended it yet, has he?
No, not yet. But I think the fat lady is singing.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
okay.
I'm looking at. I'm looking. The market has responded almost not at all. $1.80. Is that? Do you think that's just because of the low volume due to the weather here domestically?
Yeah, I think New York has also gotten whacked. If you look at the storm, it was a pretty major storm.
Right.
I think the market is really watching it to see, but so far there's no signs of anything that would be kind of nutty.
Right.
If a Sharia type, heavily, Islamic anti-capitalist
Right.
sort of government were installed, I think the market might sell off a little bit. But Egypt, of course, is not huge in the world economy.
Yeah.
It's just big on the geopolitical stage. So I think, though, that what's been very interesting is the commodity prices in the last week have been extremely volatile, more volatile than normal, and that's something that the market's really watching.
What are your predictions there?
I think meat prices are going to come back into line. They spiked here on news from South Korea that there's hoof and mouth disease, and hog prices rallied 6 cents in 3 or 4 days, which is quite a rally, and now they're coming back into line. The cattle market is starting to come back into line as well. But I think the problem is the supply in the grain market is not there. All the elevators are empty, so we really need a good crop this year. If we don't get a good crop, you could see $25 a bushel soybeans this year, which is just an amazing price. And that cycles through the entire economy because you grow soybeans to feed animals, you grow soybeans to make all kinds of different things, and so the cost of goods and products is going to go up.
Well, the heavy winter, I don't know if I haven't seen weather reports for spring and summer yet, whether we're going to be seeing, El Nino or La Nina or any of those weather patterns take hold. But one thing should be alleviated is some of the drought conditions out west.
Definitely. And we've got such a one of the benefits of all this snow is you get really good moisture deep down in the soil.
Right.
And that comes out in the summer. So I think, we should have a good crop. Farmers are going to plant a record amount of acres. It bears, let's see what Brazil does as well. Let's see how their crop comes out, and their crop should come out here in early summer. So the good news in the United States is our supply chain is set up, so we're not going to really have any shortages of food or anything like that, like you would in a country where supply chains aren't set up.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to be able to get everything. It just might cost you more. Of course, you always go to policy like ethanol or something like that, where 40% of your corn crop goes to production of a fuel rather than feed for livestock or corn sweeteners and things like that. So that affects the price as well.
Now, you mentioned Yemen.
Yeah.
What else? What other domino do you think will fall over there?
Well, I mean, it's very interesting. Jordan is trying to head off a revolution at the pass, and somebody, I can't remember if it was Krauthammer or somebody else, that said, the most vulnerable time for a sort of dictatorship monarchy is when they start to transition at the very beginning.
Yep.
So I think Jordan's something to keep an eye on. It's heavily populated by Palestinians. Pakistan is for sure something to keep an eye on to see if anything goes there, because that could be a real tinderbox, being next to Afghanistan and housing a lot of the Al-Qaeda people. There's Yemen. The whole Middle East right now seems to be in flux. Even Saudi Arabia has really stepped up wheat purchases. And what really did it for me, I think there's a little bit of a bubble in commodities right now. A short-term bubble anyway. I saw a picture of a Chinese farmer who's hoarding cotton because he's gotten information that cotton prices are at all-time highs, and they are. They had a horrible crop last year that was wiped out worldwide except for in Texas and parts of the American South. And he's got 7,700 pounds of cotton in his house waiting for higher prices. So when that happens, there's somewhat of a bubble.
When that guy releases his cotton, the price of sweaters will plummet.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, he's got a lot of knitting to do.
All right. Jeff, as always, we love your input, and I always love asking you, is the Arab Street, is it half full or half empty?
I think it's half full.
Good.
I think we're half full. I think the market today was pretty quiet, but it's at this place right now where it's really consolidating, and a lot of people are calling for a 10% correction. A lot of people are calling. I think from January to December, if you can ignore all the noise in between, the market's going to be up somewhere around 6 to 8% this year.
Good news. All right. Jeff Carter, author of pointsandfigures.com, a phenomenal blog. You should read it each and every day. Jeff, take care, and we'll talk with you Saturday.
Yeah, have fun. We'll see you Saturday.
Hey, bye now.